Hello everyone. In today's session, we will be doing a quick revision of the geography chapter Our Earth and the Solar System, which is there in the first test, right? So we will just go through whatever we learned in this lesson, right? So let's begin. So first of all, we came to know about heavenly bodies. So, what are heavenly bodies? All the objects that we see in the sky, right? All objects like stars, planets, satellites, comets, asteroids, meteors, which are there in the sky, they all are heavenly bodies. And these are also known as celestial bodies. What is the other name for heavenly bodies? Yes, that's celestial bodies, and all these collectively are known as the universe. Next we talked about universe. What is universe? How universe was formed. Remember I told you about the Big Bang. Initially there was the complete energy was concentrated, and then there was a blast and everything scattered here and there, which turned into all these heavenly bodies, and the universe was created, right? After that we spoke about the stars. So before we talked about stars, we talked about our galaxy, isn't it? So what's a galaxy? A galaxy is a group of billions of stars and clouds of dust and gases, isn't it? The sun and the stars form our galaxy. So the sun is there, and there are and the stars, they form our galaxy, and our galaxy is known as Milky Way or Akash Ganga, right? I hope all of you must be familiar with the word Akash Ganga, isn't it? So that's our galaxy. So further we talked about stars after that, and what is a star made of? So it's a star is a heavenly body made up of hot gases. So when we go to when we look at the night sky, we can see the stars twinkling in the sky, right? So what are they? They are balls of hot gases, right? Now the sun, do you know that the sun, we've already discussed that the sun is also a star, fine, and it has its own light. The planets don't have their own light. They reflect the light of the sun, right? And the sun is also, it looks big because it is very close to the earth, right? That is why it looks big. And why do we see other stars in the sky small, twinkling, small, very small and just twinkling in the sky? Why do they look small? Because they are far, far, far away from us, right? So the other star nearest to the earth is Proxima Centauri, right? I hope you'll remember the name. Please learn the spelling also. Further, we came across the term nebula. So what is nebula? The clouds of dust and gases in space, they form the stars, and these clouds are called nebula. We can see it when there are stars in or near it, right? After that we talked about constellations. What do you mean by the word constellation? Constellation is a group of stars. So if we look at the sky, very carefully with a lot of concentration, we can see the constellations, right? Especially the constellation Saptarshi. We can see it in the clear night sky, right? So these groups of stars forming different patterns, right? Different designs. These are called constellations. So a group of 7 stars called this is Saptarshi, which is also known as Small Bear, is one such constellation which I told you. We can see it in a clear night sky where there is no cloud. If we look at the sky very carefully, we can see this, right? So other such constellations are Great Bear, it is also known as Big Bear, then Ursa Minor, um, Scorpius, Leo, Cygnus. These are the different constellations. So why did in ancient time, people in ancient time, why did they make these patterns? Just to find out the direction, right? At that time there was nothing to find out the direction. Compass was not invented, so in order to find out the direction, they used to see these figures in the sky, right? By joining these stars, they formed different figures, and they found out the direction. Now the brightest star in the north, talked about it. Yes, none other than the pole star, and it is also known as North Star. And we also read that the first two stars of Saptarshi, they point to the pole star, and that is why they are called pointer stars. What are they called? Yes, of course, they are known as pointer stars. So we can easily locate the pole star with the help of Saptarshi. After that, we talked about solar system. So under solar system, we discussed the sun, the 8 planets, their satellites, and also the other heavenly bodies like asteroids, meteors, and comets. Right? So the sun is the center, it is the seat of the solar system. If we look at the entire solar system, right? If we look at this entire solar system, so the sun is at the center. Fine? And all the planets, do they have their light? Do they have their own light? No. They reflect the light of the sun. So what is sun? It's a ball of hot gases burning, constantly burning and giving out heat and light. Can you imagine a day without the sun? Of course not. We can never. It's going to be dark all around, isn't it? So sun is the center of the solar system. Further, we talked about all the planets. Life exists only on planet Earth. Why? Because there's atmosphere, there's water. How is atmosphere important to us? Because of oxygen. We get oxygen. It's a wonder planet, isn't it? We get oxygen. Can we live without oxygen? Of course not. And from where are we getting this oxygen? Of course, from the atmosphere, which is a layer of air surrounding the earth, right? So oxygen is a major reason which makes life possible on the earth. Apart from that, our earth is at a position, the distance from the distance between the earth and the sun is appropriate for life to propagate, right? Had it been closer to the sun, life would not have been possible because of excessive heat. Had it been little more away from the sun, again life would not have been possible because of excessive cold, right? So the distance between earth and sun is we can say it's accurate for life to flourish on earth. And apart from this, another major reason is the presence of water. Can we live without water? No, of course not. So Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars. We read that these are the terrestrial planets, right? Why are they known as terrestrial planets? Because they are made up of rocks and stones. While on the other hand, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune, these are the gas giants. Why? Because we don't find solid rocks and stones over there. They are made up of gases. Fine? I hope this is clear to all of you. They are made up of gases. There is no concrete, rock or stone over there, and therefore they are known as gas giants. So, after that, we discussed the planets separately. We talked about Mercury, that is the closest planet to the Earth, and it is named after the Roman god Mercury. Almost all the planets got their name from the Roman gods, isn't it? Then Venus, it's the brightest and the hottest planet of the solar system. Why is it so? Because the atmosphere of Venus is very thick. It doesn't let the heat escape, and therefore it's very hot. Next is Mars, which is also known as the red planet, and it got its name from the Roman god of war. Fine. And why is it called red planet? Because of the presence of iron oxide, which makes its surface reddish, right? It's reddish in color, and therefore it's also known as red planet. And apart from this, we also discussed that Mars has two known moons, that is Phobos and Deimos, right? Then we moved ahead to Jupiter, which is the largest planet of the solar system, and a large part of it is made up of gaseous material, isn't it? And again, it got its name from the Roman god. Now, there are 79 known moons revolving around Jupiter, and that is why it's called it's also known as mini solar system. Then we talked about the most beautiful planet, that is Saturn, which has rings around it, and these rings are made up of icy particles, dust and gases, and Saturn has 62 known moons. Next, we discussed about the seventh planet, that is Uranus, and it again got its name from the Greek god of sky. And this planet also has rings, but the rings of Saturn are more prominent. And finally, the eighth planet, which is farthest from the sun, that's Neptune. It is again named after the Roman god of sea, and it is 17 times the mass of the earth. It has 14 known moons. So how many moons are there? 14 known moons, right? After talking about these planets, we talked about the satellites. So what are satellites? Satellites are those heavenly bodies which go round the planet, right? The planets go round the sun, and the satellites, they go round the planets, right? And the satellite moon is the natural satellite. Again, moon doesn't have the light of its own. It reflects the light of the sun. Then further we talked about the different phases of the moon, isn't it? So what are the two phases of the moon? The waxing of the moon and waning of the moon, right? And why is it so? It is because of the movement round the earth. Fine? So, when the dark hemisphere of the moon faces the earth, we call it a new moon night or Amavasya. And when the bright hemisphere, the bright side of the moon faces faces the earth, it is called full moon night or Purnima. I hope this part is clear, And we also discussed about the eclipse, isn't it? The solar eclipse and the lunar eclipse. How does solar eclipse occur? Isn't it? We discussed this also. So, when the moon comes between the sun and the earth, so if moon comes between the sun and the earth, can we from the earth see the sun? Of course not. So this is what happens when there is a solar eclipse. The moon comes in between, we cannot see the sun, right? So this is solar eclipse. And similarly, what is lunar eclipse? When the earth comes between the sun and the moon, the lunar eclipse occur. Why? Because the earth comes in between, fine, and the sunlight, the earth obstructs the sunlight, isn't it? Light of the sun, which the moon reflects, and therefore the moon is not visible. Fine, the earth comes in between the sun and the moon, and this is what happens when there is a lunar eclipse, right? After that, we talked about asteroids and meteors, the final phase of the lesson. So what are asteroids? Asteroids are small planet-like heavenly bodies, and these are found in the solar system. They are large pieces of basically rocks floating in the space, right? These are asteroids can be described as pieces of rocks floating in the space, right? The area of the space is also known as asteroid belt. Now, they are also called planetoids or minor planets. And what do scientists believe? They believe that asteroids are the broken parts of a planet, right? Then coming to meteors, they are also known as shooting stars. So what are these? Meteors are again small pieces of rocks. Again, they cannot be seen as they are very small, and meteors can be seen in the sky only when they enter the Earth's atmosphere. And what are meteorites? When they reach the surface of the Earth, they are called meteorites. Fine. So the crater at Arizona in the USA, that's the largest known crater in the world, caused because of the meteorite. And then finally, we talked about comets. So what are comets? Comets are celestial bodies, that is heavenly bodies made up of snow and rocky dust. So keep in mind, comets are made of snow and rocky dust, and we can see a long glowing tail of a comet, right? Why? Because it's made of snow and dust of rocks, which which develops in the shape of a long glowing tail, right? And you must have heard about Halley's Comet. It was once seen, it is seen once in every 76 years. And the year when it was seen last was 1986. So, these were all the important things that we covered in this lesson. I hope everything is very, very clear to all of you. Now read the lesson well and prepare it for your test. Thank you so much.